Attorney to vote proxy for them, and their names are on the proxy list, but they are saying they cannot vote. So that is the issue that we are trying to resolve. But he's still speaking to the national bosses to qualify them to vote, because the principal document is if your name is on the register, you qualify to vote. And the person has ceded that opportunity to a brother to vote for them, and the brother came and said, oh, proxy, special voting, proxy is not part of special voting.
Has that always been the case as a politician?
No. Even you don't admit what does not qualify to vote, or the person that does not qualify to vote here, you don't admit their name to the special voting. And some over 100 military men, according to some of them who came, that their names are even missing from the special voting, which we don't know the plan of the military. Either they are going to do early deployment to the various constituencies before the election day. If so, meaning they have to go back, they have to forfeit their vote, or they have to have a special arrangement for them to vote 7 December in the morning before they can go to their various destinations. But the one funny thing about the whole situation is this is the second time the army is voting at the police headquarters. You are here for so many years. They used to have their polling station at the barracks. They know themselves, they have their register, they vote, no issues of missing names and other stuff. One person cried here, the name is admitted into the special vote. One Mr. Amankwa from the Sunyane barracks, he came here and his name cannot be found at all. So he's angry. You saw him arguing with the EC official, but the official here cannot do anything. The computer thing, garbage in, garbage out. So what has been given is what he's going to use now. So I think there's some conversation going on between the regional director, the municipal director, and the national head office to resolve. But once their name is in the register, they must vote. Let's assume the parliamentary, somebody wins with a margin of less than 140 votes, like the names missing in the special vote. And once your name is in the special vote list, your name will be absent in the original register. But now their names have been returned to the original register. So they are normal voters like you and I who are going to vote on the 7th. So EC must resolve the proxy, and they must resolve the number of names missing, or the number of names that has been returned to their original.
There's a little time, but time waits for no man. So are you hopeful that they could be able to resolve it for them to vote?
This is elections, and the parliamentary is simple majority. So let's assume somebody wins with 5 votes and 5 or 6 people are on proxy list. You don't know the party they were voting for, the candidate they were voting for, and they didn't have the opportunity to vote. That person can take us to court.
Exactly. Thank you very much, Charles. We wish you the best of luck.
Nice.
And at the end of the process, we hope that Ghana will be the winner. I've spotted the municipal director of the Electoral Commission now, and I just hope that she'll be able to tell us, give us her take on how the process is going so far. But like the NDC regional communication officer said, in time past, there could be voting at the military barracks, liberation barracks, or here at the police headquarters. But for the last 2 election cycles, that's 2020 and now, it's always been here at the police headquarters. And I've never had issues with the people's name not appearing on the voters list. That's a new one to me, and I'm just hoping that it will be resolved, like the police commander has been telling the party agents that this issue will be resolved for the policemen to vote. But it looks like the Electoral Commission boss is not ready to talk to us now. Looks like she's trying to, do her work. And so she's not ready to talk. So I think I'll get back to the studio, or I don't know if they have any questions for us. But this is where we rest our case from Sunyane. Like I said earlier, the voting started smoothly at around 7:15 and has been progressing steadily since then. So for now, nothing much. Everything is ship. All the queues have disappeared. And
hello, John. Can you hear me?
Voters are now trickling in, one at a time. And this is going to go on until 5 p.m. when the exercise will end, and then the ballot boxes will be stowed away until after voting on the 7th, before it will be added to the votes cast on the main election day on the 7th of December, and then all of them will be counted together. So today there's not going to be any counting here, but when it ends, the ballot boxes and the ballots in there will be properly secured and stored until the 7th, when they'll be brought out and counted after. So for now, my name is John Samantha, reporting from Sunyani.
John.
And I hope to do so again in the course of the day.
Hello, John.
In the coming days.
John Samantha.
Head towards the main election day on...
John, can you hear me? John Samantha, can you hear me? If you can hear me, for those who are not going to be allowed to vote, do we know for certain that they will be allowed to vote today? Well, Maurice, we heard from Bono region that a number of voters were not allowed to vote because their names were missing on the roster. This is likely to happen on the 7th.
I think so far it's been a general phenomenon. I think we had similar incidents in the Tema East constituency,
exactly,
where Michael reported from. But I think that what's happening, I can't say on authority. What's happening is, if you did not register to do the special voting, certainly your name is not going to be on that list.
Yeah.
If you maybe submitted your name to whoever was coordinating the names in your office,
didn't follow up,
and you didn't follow up, your name is not going to show up in the voters register for today.
Yeah.
You know, so I know I didn't submit my name, so I'm not going to the police station to go and vote today. I'll be doing the voting on the 7th of December. So I think that it could be the factor. But then, if that's not the case, we should be resolving these issues even before Saturday, because
the issue of the proxy voting.
Yeah,
someone came as a proxy and was not allowed to vote for the brother because for special voting it's not allowed that a proxy would vote for someone.
Right.
That is also one thing that happened in the Bono region, as John Samantha reported. Right. I think that these are issues that must be critically looked at to avoid most of the problems you are seeing today. Right.
So if you look at the Sunyani East constituency, where he was reporting from is an MPP constituency. I mean, since 1996, they've held that particular seat, the MPP. So in 1996, the MPP had 55.9%. In 2000, it was 67.8%. In 2004, they had 65.5%. In 2008, 61%. 2012, 59.2%. In 2016, it was 67%. So the MPP has, held the Sunyani East constituency very closely.
Is it same for parliamentary?
Same for parliamentary. In the 2020 elections, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo had 52,696 of the votes, representing 65.09% in the Sunyani East constituency, and John Mahama had 27,535, 34.04%. Their current MP is Mr. Kwesi Ameya-Otreme. He was a former minister for lands and natural resources. Before Jinapor came in, he was the minister for lands and natural resources. So he's the current MP for the Sunyani East constituency in the Bono region. So I mean, basically, that's how that constituency is looking like. It won't be surprising that it remains in the hands of the MPP. Moving into this particular elections.
Rufina is on the line, joining us from Achimota. Okay, it looks like we don't have Rufina, but look. Again, we are looking at the special voting that's going on across the country. We have 131,478 working voters going to vote today in 328 polling centers. Already we have gone to Tema, we have gone to the Bono region, we have gone to Teshi, and we have gone to the northern region. And reports we are hearing from all these correspondents indicate that the process is moving on smoothly. In the Bono region, we recently were told that a proxy was not allowed to vote because, according to the EC officials, proxies are not allowed in special voting. The other people who have also not found their names in the list, and like my colleague Maurice was saying, it could be their names were not submitted for the special voting. And the EC displayed the approved list on their site. And I think that as people were involved or ready to vote in the special voting, they should have gone to the EC website to look at, verify if their names are on the list before going to the polling centers.
As a matter of fact, there were some short codes, so you could actually check and see if your name is on the list before you go out there to vote. But talking about the EC, let's talk to Mr. Fred Tete. He's a Deputy Director of Research at the Electoral Commission. He joins us via telephone. Good afternoon to you, Fred. Good afternoon to you, Fred, if you can hear me. The process started 7 a.m. It's been smooth thus far, save some few issues, some, personnel or some voters not finding their names on the list. From where you monitor the elections, the Electoral Commission, is it going according to plan? Hello, Fred, can you hear me? Right, so we're still bringing you our live coverage of the special voting, which is going to be a precursor to the main election. Fred is back on the line. Good afternoon to you, Fred, if you can hear me.
Your line is very thin.
Yes, can you hear me now?
Can you raise your voice a little bit?
Can you hear me? I'm saying that the process as we monitor it here has been smooth thus far, save some few issues. From where you're monitoring the elections, is it going according to plan?
Yes. If I could hear what you said, right, so far so good. In terms of preparation and then the kickoff of the special vote.
Right, so what could account for some persons not finding their names on the roll?
Okay. I must say that, thank you for the opportunity. I must say that in special voting and then even in transfers, when you apply for special voting, what happens is that in addition to you providing your list as journalists and then as security personnel, as well as Electoral Commission officers, what you have to do as a follow-up is to visit the district offices of the Electoral Commission for verification. And that has accounted for situations where we have people who have media personnel and personnel of the security services not finding their names on the special voters list.
Do you mean you have to visit the district office as an individual?
Yes.
After
you send your application, even if you do a list by your command, you have to visit individually the district offices within the period of the application for your verification features to be extracted onto the special voters list.
Right. And you think the Electoral Commission communicated this particular information well enough?
Yes, indeed. It was communicated to the GJA, and it was also communicated to the hierarchies of the security service.
Right, because I know that even here in my office, we're having some few challenges there.
And you see, that has been the practice ever since we adopted the use of the biometric technology.
Right.
It must be authenticated that indeed the application for which or the list on which you are, and then your voter's ID as provided by you to your command. Okay, you have to go there and then authenticate whether indeed it's you. We cannot use your name and get your voter's ID number to extract you from the main register and put you on a special voters list. So in the authentication process, you have to visit the district office. You place on your hand, your fingers on the VMS.
Right. So does this verification extend to the main election? So after everything, you must verify whether your name is on the roll before December 7th.
I'm not getting your question very well.
I'm saying the verification, does it also apply to the main elections?
Yes. So in the main elections, you cannot vote without being verified.
Right. But must you do prior verification so that you are sure your name is on the list?
Yes, you see, because special voting is totally different,
right,
from what you would do on, you are to isolate those names, extract from the main register and generate a special voters list. That's why you need to go for verification so that your name is extracted, so that the true persons, you can have a polling station with 5 people having same name, but with different ID numbers. Okay?
Right.
So if you write a list, let's say Kwesi Mensah, and on that constituency you have so many constituents, Kwesi Mensah on the list, you provided your voter's ID number, giving it to the commission. Which of the Kwesi Mensah are we removing? Indeed, you have to go there and then we extract exactly the biometrics and the voter details of the real Kwesi Mensah, if really you are Kwesi Mensah in the prison service, onto the special voters.
So
that's what we do.
So you want to assure us, Fred, that on Saturday we're not going to be having incidents similar to this?
Well, not at all. Right. That's why the Electoral Commission provided the various platforms through the exhibition and the re-exhibition exercises, where in addition to visiting the polling station physically to check your name, we also use the short code, and currently the short code is still active. I mean the *711*51#. Individuals can check their names on the voters register, and each day you will find their names on the register. You can also go to the EC website, and then you can check your name as well. This facility exists until the day of election. So the voting public can continue checking their names on that. In addition, this is what I may add, that all media personnel and security personnel who could not, though they've been given accreditation to observe the election, and yet they could not find their names in the special voters list, with your accreditation card and then your media center card, you can go to your polling station, show it your accreditation card that you are a journalist, media person, to observe the elections in a place where you've been assigned, which is different from your polling station. You'll be allowed, given priority, to jump the queue, vote ahead of time, and then you can go to wherever you've been deployed to go and then vote. All
right. So how do you treat proxy relative to the special voting exercise?
How do I do it?
I'm saying, is proxy voting allowed in special voting exercises?
Proxy voting allowed in special voting exercise.
Sure.
Usually we allow proxy voting in the main exercise.
Okay. All right. So I know you've been talking about the reasons why special voting couldn't take place in the eastern and western regions, but for the benefit of education, you just want to brief us exactly why that happened.
Okay. In the voting public, we know, and the plan of the Electoral Commission, the special voting was to take place in 328 centers across the country. However, with the issue that happened on Friday regarding the phase single ballot paper that sneaked out of the printing house, and therefore the commission called for reprinting of the ballot papers for the entity concerned, I mean the company that printed Western region and then the Eastern regions. We are not voting today. Special voting is not taking place in 35 centers in the Eastern region, special voting centers. And then for Western region, they have 17 special voting centers where the special voting is not taking place. However, the Commission has assured the public that materials will be ready for that special voting on Thursday, which is 5th December. So we are looking at, in total, we expected 131,000 plus voters to turn up today in a special voting across the country. However, Eastern region has about 12,000 on the special voters list who are not taking part in the elections today. And then for Western region, they have about 4,900 plus. That's not taking place as well. So in total, we're looking at about 114,000 voters turning up today.
Right. So you talk about a defaced ballot paper. How exactly does that affect the integrity of the ballot materials that was supposed to be dispatched to the Eastern and Western regions?
Okay, thank you for the question. The issue is in elections, apart from the ballot box, the result sheet, and the indelible ink, and few things that are highly sensitive, the ballot paper is number one. Okay, and it is through the ballot papers that we make our decisions known in terms of our choices. Now, where in printing you have a ballot paper, okay, mutilated or defaced or having a stain, which is meant for destruction. However, this ballot paper will not be accounted for. Let me walk you through.
Sure.
When we're printing ballot papers, in the printing process, you may have to isolate the genuine ballots that are well printed, everything, every feature, security images on it are well printed, and then those that we call wish, and then overs. Okay. After this has been done, the genuine ballot papers are labeled yes, and then packed in a bag. Then we have the cost to destroy the overs and then the waste papers, including defaced and then stained ballot papers. We have to account for all this before they are destroyed. After their destruction, then we move the genuine ballot papers out. Okay. So if ballot papers have been moved out and then those that are to be destroyed, any of them sneaks out, you may not know what that ballot paper that has been sneaked out is used for. Okay, and therefore it may lead to the compromising of the entire ballot paper. So, as a matter of urgency, the Commission decided that to ensure credibility and integrity of the ballot paper, it will be wise that we recall all those ballot papers which have been printed under that company, and then we have them destroyed, reprint the ballot papers with new security features. Okay, that will distinguish it a little bit from the others that are in the other country, in the other parts of the country. So I think the transparency of the whole process is meant to reinforce the integrity and the credibility of the ballot papers out.
Right. So I've seen the NDC, commend you for that particular decision. But what really has been the response from the political parties?
Well, yesterday at the emergency IPAD meeting, the decision was unanimous. All the political parties, after a series of discussions, agreed by consensus that is the way forward. It's not only the NDC, the NPP also commended, and then they said they have no problem with it. The Commission should go ahead, just like other political parties, as well as the representatives of the 3 to 4 independent candidates. They all agreed to it.
All right. So maybe finally, before you go, is the EC set for Saturday?
Yes, we are set and I believe as of now it's almost 1 o'clock, and the voting public so far, Ghanaians, everything has been good so far. We've not heard of any incident or issue from any of the close to let me say about 280 plus voting centers that are having the special voting.
Right.
And it's a precursor to how well the TC has prepared for the 7th December election. And therefore, we want the public to trust the EC and have confidence in the Electoral Commission as we all watch forward for the conduct of the general elections on the 7th of December.
All right. So the military has said, or the Ghana Armed Forces has said that in this particular election, there's not going to be military presence at the polling stations. Has this been the norm over the years, or circumstances have demanded that this particular decision is taken?
I didn't hear your question.
I'm saying that in this particular election, the Ghana Armed Forces has issued a statement. They are saying that there's not going to be military presence at the various polling station. I'm asking whether this decision is unique or it's being the process over the years. They say they will be on standby as and when the Ghana Police Service is in need of them.
Yes, the military has never been part of the main management of the elections in terms of security. Yes, they are part of the National Election Security Task Force. And by international standards, the military in elections are always at the background. They are not involved. You don't see them at polling stations. So I don't think it's a deviation from what we've been showing in the past. And we must know that security of elections, your election security, is the purview of the police service, and therefore under the mandate of the police hierarchy. And therefore, it's only when they will be needed that the military are called in. And even with that, the Electoral Commission is not involved because the security relating to election issues mainly it is the police service that
Right. Can you confirm to us that there's going to be elections in the Boko area? I.e., have you dispatched, or are you ready to dispatch election materials to that particular area for elections, given the kind of situation we have in the Boko area?
Yes, I'll say that the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Madame Jean Mensah, responded to us that the assurances that we received from the security services, the environs of Boko is well secure for the elections and so on. And as you may know, the 14 other regions are having their special in which Boko is included. And all materials are on the ground. We send materials to Boko as well, just like any other place. Our officials are on the ground and they are being protected for the people. So Boko will go ahead.
All right. And are you also able to confirm that it's going to be parliamentary elections in the Guan constituency, the Sal area?
Oh yes, Guan has come today, and with the passage of the law, the Guan constituency, or what people call SAR, they are having their special voting as of now.
All right. Maybe you want to give us your final words, then we can take it.
Yeah, my final word is to encourage all voters who have not voted in the special voting. If you qualified and you've seen your name on the list which the commission circulated to the public, we are calling on all good-meaning Ghanaians to be asked to your name is on the special voters list and you fail to turn up today, you will not have the opportunity on the 7th of December to vote. You may indeed go to your polling station on the 7th of December, but you find your name on what we call the absentee voters list, just like those who have transferred their vote to other places. And therefore, any name being on the absentee voters list cannot vote at that particular polling station on election day, because your name being on absentee voters list, your name will not be in the main list, and therefore you will not be allowed.
All right.
So, if your name is on the special voters list, this is the time for you to go to your polling station or your center and cast your vote.
All right, and then also on December 7th, Saturday, if I go to the polling station and I've misplaced my ID card, I have to mention my name and then I'm verified. Is that
yes, right. I must make it clear that the voting public should know that, yes, you need an ID card after a registration, but when it comes to voting and you don't have your ID card, you can still go to your polling station, provided indeed the location that you've gone to or the polling station that you've gone to, you are sure that that's where you registered. If indeed that's where you registered, all that matters for you to go through the process is your fingerprint and your face. The ID card, if you have it, yes, it facilitates the process, but that should not prevent you from going to the polling station to cast your vote if you don't have your ID card.
All right, thank you very much. I want to thank you, Fred Tete, is the Deputy Director of Research at the Electoral Commission, and he's assured that there's going to be elections in the Boko area, and there's also going to be elections in the Guan constituency. Gloria, I'm particularly excited
about that.
Of course, especially in the Boko area. Yeah. But then, what happens on the day of the election really it will be out of the hands of the Electoral Commission. I mean, they will send their ballot.
But he said the military have been deployed there, especially to Boko, to ensure that voting is run smoothly, devoid of any hassle or any trouble. And we are hoping that that goes on. But you know one thing with going to the polling center with your ID card, it fast tracks the process for you.
But then if you don't have, you
can still go. But you know what? You have to go through the process of finding. That's what they are going to ask you. Spell your name. What is your name? Spell your first name. And so they're going to use your names to go and look for it. But if you have your ID card, it's just your number and then they go and do it for you. It's just that they fast tracks it. So if you have your ID card, go with it. If you don't, you still go and vote. We go to the Volta region and our correspondent reports that a total of 8,708 have registered to vote in this exercise in 22 polling centers. Voting has started, but we don't have the numbers that have voted so far. In Ewutu Senya East, we have 1,298 voters voting today in the special voting exercise. So far, as at 10 a.m., 149 voters have casted their vote. You are watching us live on GTV's GBC News special edition of the special voting being done across 328 voting centers across the country. That is minus Western and Eastern region. That has about 35 and 17 polling centers. Right. That brings the number to about 200 and something.
Right. So, and Gloria, I'm also particularly excited that, yes, I mean, the processes have ended. The Guan constituency, as I said, has come to stay.
Do we know who is standing in the...
So Fred Agbenyo is standing on the ticket of the NDC. In that particular area. I'm not too sure who is doing for
the MPP.
The MPP. But for 4 years, this particular group of people, the South area, have had no representation in Parliament. Yeah. And I come from the South area, and that has been...
Then you must go there and vote.
Oh, no, I don't vote in the South area, I'll vote in Accra. But that has been a major concern, personally, to me, that there is a group of people
who are not voting in
this country who pay their taxes, do everything, yet they don't have a member of Parliament
to work for them.
To work for them. So now we're going to be having 200 and 76 seats in Parliament because of the addition of Guan, and in that particular constituency is an area we just want to focus on and pay some attention and see how the event will unfold there.
Nicholas Osewusu is on the line, so we go to Nicholas and get a feed from Nicholas in the Ashanti region. Hello, Nicholas.
Yes.
I've seen so far.
Okay. Yeah, Gloria, good afternoon. And I'm extended to Maurice for me. Yeah, I'm currently located at the police station at Oforikrom. Hello, Gloria.
Yes, Nicholas, I can hear you. Please go ahead.
Okay. I am at Oforikrom, one of the voting centers here in the Ashanti region, where a number of police officers and other registered or accredited persons are expected to cast their ballot. So far, the exercise has been smooth from all the places I've visited, from the Subin constituency, which is having its center located inside or deep inside the Ashanti Central Regional Headquarters, and then the Asokwa Police Station, where we're also having the Asokwa Constituency Voting Center for the special voting or early voting exercise. So far, the Ashanti region, we have a total of 20,648 voters who have applied to take part in today's early voting exercise. We have 52 voting centers designated for this exercise. If I say 52 voting centers, it shouldn't come as a surprise, because even though Ashanti region has the largest number of constituencies in the Ashanti region of 47, some of the centers have had to be split into two, especially when you go to the Subin Center, which is being hosted by the Ashanti Central Police Region. It has been split into centers A and B because of the numbers involved. We have a total of 1,380 voters taking part in today's exercise, and so per the policies of the Electoral Commission, any center with more than 700 voters has to be split into different centers to ensure that the voting exercise at any time goes on smoothly and without delay going into the night. That is why we have some of the additional 5 centers when you consider the number of constituencies we have in the Ashanti region. So the exercise has been smooth sailing, except at the Asokwa Center, where we had one person from the Ghana Fire Service who had gone there to cast his ballot. Possibly or probably, he thought that once it is for security personnel, and he was also working with one of the state institutions, he was naturally entitled to cast the ballot in this early exercise. But lo and behold, he went back disappointed because he was told he had not applied, and so his details were not found on the register for today's exercise, and so he couldn't take part. So naturally, he's going to take part in the general elections on Saturday, as disappointed as he has returned back to his duty post. Apart from that, there was a bit of a near fisticuff among the party agents, the NDC and MPP party agent, for clarity on positions, where to stand and where not to stand, in order not to interfere with the voting process. But this was swiftly addressed by the voting or the election official. So there was nothing untoward. Apart from that, no untoward situation has been recorded anywhere in the Ashanti region per my information. But as I speak to you, I'm reporting from the Oforikrom Center, which is being hosted by the Oforikrom Police Station. And I'm going to speak briefly with the assistant presiding officer in charge of this particular center to find out exactly how things are panning out. It's already 1 p.m. and we want to, from here, what I'm seeing, it looks like there's little to do by the election officials. But I have the assistant presiding officer. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
You are live on GBC News, one of the 7 TV channels of the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. So you are being viewed across the country and across the world on our Facebook Live page. Can you share with us, first of all, your credentials, your designation and your name?
Yes, I'm Nanaidu Asabre. I'm the assistant deputy returning officer of Oforikrom. For this exercise, I'm the name reference list officer.
Very good. That's good. We are listening. We are talking to the right person. Can you take us through so far the statistics for this particular center?
Sure. As at now, we have 248 voters who have cast their votes. Males, we have 141, and then females, we have 147. So we are still on. Once the time is not over, we are waiting for them to come and then.
And how many are what's the total number of accredited persons on the voters register for here?
Total number of voters in the register is 400.
400, and we have 248 so far. Yes, so we've gone past the half mark.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So far, what's been the experience for you and your colleagues supervising the exercise here?
Oh, sure. It has been a calm situation since we started in the morning. And then we are sure, as you have observed, the situation is calm. So we are waiting for those who have not yet come to come and then cast their vote.
Have you had any challenge with the supply or availability of logistics in anything? And when did you start?
Yeah, we started exactly 7 o'clock as the time demanded. For now, everything about electoral commission, electoral materials are ready. So we started with how do you call it? All the materials ready for the exercise. So for now, we are not short of any materials, any lapses whatsoever.
The experience I've had, or what I've recorded, is that when we visited the Asukwa polling center, one of the fire service personnel or staff came there to vote, but his details were not found on the register, ostensibly because he did not apply. But knowing very well that he works with the state institution and this exercise is mainly for them, he thought he could come there and vote. What's been the situation so far here?
Yes, per the rules of the game, the time was given for them to apply for the process. Applicants were duly applied so that their names were enlisted into the register. Once you don't apply, you don't have any locals to come and then vote.
Have you had such an experience here?
Yes, one.
From which institution?
From police service. She came and then the name was not in the register. Upon asking of questions, she accepted that she did not apply. So we told her that once she did not apply, the name will not automatically be recorded in the register. So she understood and then.
How was the demeanor? How did she receive this news?
Oh, it was like once she knew that she hadn't applied, she was cool to go.
Okay, help us, sir, to understand. Once the exercise is taking place and it is part of the election, I'm sure right after 5 p.m. when polls close, we are going to be flooded social media, whatever, that this security service or agency, they have voted for this. So how are you going to handle the after voting?
Yes, for special voting, after the close of the poll, we send the sealed ballot boxes and everything to the custody of the police. So when it is on the 7th, that we shall bring them out and then add it to the vote casted for the day. So for now, after closing, we are giving all materials that we use here to the police custody, so that on the 7th we get them and then we count them.
So if I understand you, it means that you are not going to waste time counting anything from today's exercise.
Sure.
And how is it going to be like? Are you going to count them separately after on Saturday?
Yes, on Saturday we shall count the special voting ballot first. After voting, that's the first counting that we do at the collation center.
It will not be mixed up with the general one.
No. We shall start counting that of the special voting first before we proceed to the other polling stations in Oforiko and elsewhere.
So what's your advice to us as we prepare? Should we psych ourselves up for propaganda and all those things that this or that institution have voted for this or that? How do we psych ourselves for that?
Now, for the education, that shouldn't be. Because once you've not counted, we can't and talk about who voted for who and who, because on the ballot paper we don't have names on them. That's the names of the voters on them. But the voting is also a secret exercise. So once we keep them under the custody of the police, on the 7th after voting we shall count, and then if anyone has anything against it, then we'll talk about it.
Happy, finally. It looks like I'm seeing some voters who are not in any of the security, the uniforms of any of the security agencies. Who are these?
Now, for special voting, it is meant for the media, the election officials on the day of voting, that is the 7th. We talk about the security services. So for now, if you don't see the security servicemen alone coming here, that is the point.
Okay. I'm grateful for speaking or sharing part of your time with GBC News.
Thank you.
The name again, sir?
I'm Nana Edu Asabre.
Yo. So, Gloria, that has been Nana Edu Asabre, the registration officer, yes, for this particular center, the Oforikrom Center. He's been speaking with us on the exercise so far. So far, only one person has been turned away from here for not applying to be considered for today's exercise. Now, we are seeing some more of the voters queuing up. Apart from those we are seeing, there are no more others waiting for their turns to go through the exercise. It's been quite peaceful. It's been quite successful. It's been quite all engaging. All the parties have the MPP and NDC, they have their agents present, keenly monitoring the process so far, and they've not had any recam in terms of our report from the Ashanti region, at least for now.
Thank you very much, Nicholas. That's Nicholas Osewusu from the Ashanti region.
Before Nicholas goes, if he's on the line. Nicholas, can you hear me? Hello, Nicholas, can you hear me? So you are reporting from the Oforikrom constituency. Are you able to tell us a little bit about that particular constituency? Are you able to tell us how the voting pattern has been
but was carved out or created not too long ago, but we have had so far, we have had about 2 or 3 MPs, and they are all coming from the stock of the New Patriotic Party. So this is predominantly an MPP constituency. There have not been any occasion where we have any other representatives of any other political party also winning the seat. The immediate past MP for this area was Madam Elizabeth Ajimai, who also doubled as the Deputy Ashanti Regional Minister. She held the seat for at least 4 consecutive terms, 12 years, before giving way to the current MP, Dr. Emmanuel Mafo, who has also spent, he's in his second term as we speak, and he's also going to give way to a new person, Mr. Obri Eboa, who is holding the flag for the MPP in this particular election. And yes, so over the years, that is it, and they always win. So far, they have always won this seat with do I say a landslide? So it's become a comfortable seat for the MPP. But the NDC has always put in their best to ensure that they either snatch it or they get closer to winning the seat.
All right. So is Henry Osei-Akoto contesting this time round on the ticket of the NDC?
No, it's not Henry Osei-Akoto. It's Anwar Sadat. He is representing the NDC on this occasion. At the last election, it was Mr. Henry Osei-Akoto who stood on the ticket of the MPP. You know, he used to be a presidential staffer at the time. So he contested. By this time, there's a new person who is contesting. Incidentally, he has just arrived at this particular scene. I'm going to speak briefly with him to find out the rounds he has gone so far, what his observations are. Mr. Anwar Sadat, good afternoon. Yeah, you are live on GBC News, one of the 7 TV channels of the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. We are also live across the globe on our Facebook. Tell us, so far, what have been your observation from the process?
My regards to your viewers and who are out there watching us live. We've been here since morning and observing. I think everything is going on well, very smooth. And I think there's no any conspiracy. There's clear and everything is just.
So it means you are naturally satisfied with the process so far. Oh, okay. What's the expectation? We are just about 4 hours or so to go to the end of the polls.
It's obvious that NDC is coming back to power, and I'm also taking the seat. For the first time in the history of Curriculum, as you were saying, we already know that this seat has always been their seat, and they are satisfied with that, and they always exert their. I think they have confidence. They are not expecting. They are never always expecting any lose from any other side. But this time we are proving them wrong that we are going to take the seat.
What gives you that confidence? Because they have always won it with a bigger margin.
Oh yes.
That gives you any room for surprises.
Yes, because due to my work, I've been here in Curriculum over 1 year now. I've been massively doing a whole lot of things, even though we are not in power. My mom is not in power, my dad is not in power, but everything that we are doing so far. So I've been employed about 350 people, me alone. We are not in power, but we are still trying to. The unemployment rate here is very large, and we are trying hard to elevate it. So I'll be trying to. That is my priority, to help the youth, especially the youth, to overcome the unemployment rate.
I'm grateful, Mr. Sadat. More Ogbete, that has been Mr. Anwar Sadat, the candidate for the MDC in this election for Oforikrom. He's a newcomer to the contest. Unfortunately, I had the Ashanti Regional Secretary of the MPP with me, but he could not keep long because he also got other activities on his hand, going around to observe the processes so far, so he couldn't keep long here to speak to us. So from now, if you have anything, a follow-up question, so, Nicholas, I'm ready for you.
Right.
If there's nothing, that's where we bring the curtains down.
Right.
For
so
at least now.
If you look at the results, the 2020 results, as you said, it's been a safe seat for the MPP. So Dr. Emmanuel Mafu, he had 60,156, 70.4% of the vote, and then Henry Osayakoto of the NDC had 24,747. So it's going to be a very tall order if Anwar Sadat wants to win the Oforikrom constituency. But Nicholas, what exactly are the issues that bother the minds of the many people who are going to be voting?
Obviously, yeah. but he appears to be so much optimistic about his chances, so much upbeat, and so we live to see.
But I'm saying, what are the issues that people in Oforikrom are considering in this particular election?
Morris, you know how politics play out in this area of our country.
Right. One
consideration, especially for some of these constituencies, is got to do with party affiliations. That is key. You can't take it out of the equation. Then from there, we look at the personalities contesting. Everybody has factors to consider in choosing or deciding to vote. And so the personality also counts. Then we look at the general issues of the economy, the socioeconomic conditions of the country. We also look at the infrastructural situation of the constituency, the employment situation. These are some of the key issues or factors that are up for consideration by the voters today and on Saturday.
So you've been monitoring the Ashanti region over the years. I mean, the Ashanti region is going to play a very key role in this particular election. What are you picking from the ground? The NDC is in the Ashanti region. The MPP has been in the Ashanti region for close to 2 weeks. Dr. Baumia just returned from the Ashanti region. He's in the Greater Accra region now. What are you picking from the ground? how are the results going to look like on Saturday?
Morris, you are putting me in a very tight corner. But with the experience I've gathered over the years in election reporting and from observing closely from happenings in and around the region, it's not going to be any different. The MPP has a strong footing on the ground. No two ways about it. And I don't know, and I've not heard or seen any soothsayer who predicts or put his neck on the table and then predict otherwise. For this one, we can safely say that the MPP still has its foot firmly on the ground. But looking at what is happening around, especially yesterday, I covered the campaign work of the NDC. Right from my place of residence, going through the various areas to the starting point, I just got the impression that the turnout at the work was going to be massive. And lo and behold, I was not disappointed. The turnout, anyone who has seen the pictures anywhere, either on social media or on traditional media, would attest to the fact that yesterday was a different ball game altogether. And for the avoidance of doubt, the turnout yesterday were not people from other parts of the Ashanti region. These are people of party members from the Kumasi metropolis, basically from Asawasi, the Subin, Menchia South and North, and the Sara or adjoining constituencies. So it wasn't a rally for members of the party from across the Ashanti region who were bashed. Right. I must tell you, from what I saw with my naked eye, and I can testify, people walked from their various areas to the starting point and the final destination of the center. So that was the genuine crowd that had. And in fact, from the years of my experience, this was the largest turnout at any NDC event in the Ashanti region. And if it is anything to go by, then we are in for a bit of a surprise. This is what we have to consider.
Right. Of course, I like the fact that if the numbers are anything to go by, I mean, certainly the numbers can be deceptive sometimes. But when we talk about voter turnout, you listen on the ground. Are we likely to face some level of apathy in the Ashanti region?
Morris, for voter apathy, that is one thing I've not seen any clear sign. I've not yet seen any clear sign of apathy, even though it has become the balance or the usual complaint. The economy is hard, and all those complaints coming from left, center, right, back, and front. But when it gets to the D-Day, some have become politically notorious, some, just as others, have become religiously notorious. So when it gets to the D-Day, it gets to them like nothing ever. So we can only hope and see what the outcome will be. And today's issue or today's early voting could also be a reflection of what we are supposed to see on Saturday. Like they say, coming event cast their shadow. As we speak, we are at about 2 p.m. and the turnout, we have already gone past the half mark. Let's see. We will be able to judge the turnout on Saturday based on the final turnout for today's exercise across the region from the 52 voting centers. That will give us an idea how things are going to pan out.
All right. I want to leave it here. Nicholas Osewusu is our Ashanti regional correspondent. He's been covering that particular region very wide over the years, bringing us updates from the Oforikum constituency and some other constituencies. We'll continue our coverage, our special coverage of the special voting exercise which is happening across the country except the eastern and western regions. Gloria.
If you listen to what everyone has said, you would take a note that the process of applying to vote in the special voting didn't go down well with a lot of the individuals who were supposed to take part in this. I mean, for instance, if you take our office, for example, people had sent their names, but they didn't know what. I think they thought after sending your name, that's the end. You don't go back to the district office to officially go and verify that you are voting in this exercise. And so your name should be taken off the main register and put on the special vote. And so that's why most of the constituencies are reporting of people coming and their names not being on the list. It's quite unfortunate, but I hope that's a lesson well taken going forward. We all would do the right thing.
All right, so we're still here in the studios. We're speaking to our correspondents across the country who are monitoring the special voting process. We'll go for a short break. When we come back, we'll continue. Stay with us.
Ghanaian child.
Welcome back to our live coverage of the special voting exercise. We go straight to the phone lines and talk to Rufina, who is coming straight from Achimota. Hello, Rufina, if you can hear me, tell us where you are exactly and what's happening there.
Thank you, Gloria. Currently, I'm at the Okankwe North Constituency. That is the Achimota College Police Station, where 394 persons are expected to cast their vote in the ongoing special voting. As at the time our team got here, 210 persons have casted their votes with no incidents. According to the EC official, the materials were received at 6 a.m. and voting started exactly 7 a.m. The parliamentary candidates contesting for the area are Nana Madokua Esiama Eje from the NPP, Abdul Hamid Ibrahim Futa from the CPP, and Teresa Ladi Aoni. She's contesting on the ticket of the NDC, and she's the incumbent MP for the area. Earlier, our team visited the Okankwe Central at the Tetano Police Station, where 333 persons were expected to cast their votes in the ongoing special voting. After the time our team got there, the EC official says they have taken delivery of all materials meant for the smooth voting process, and voting is ongoing with no incidents. He says they received their materials around 5:30 a.m. and voting started exactly 7 a.m. The parliamentary candidates contesting in the area are Mr. Yaubuama, running on the ticket of the NPP, and the incumbent MP for the area, and Mr. Abdullahi Abubakar Sadiq, running on the ticket of the NDC. As at the time our team was leaving the center at 11 a.m., 140 persons have casted their votes. So for now, this is what we have.
Rufina, in most of the polling centers, there are reports of people coming and not finding their names on the roster. Have you seen that at the places you have visited so far?
So far, where we visited, we have not encountered such incidents. All the people that came to vote found their names, they voted, they casted their vote, and they left.
All right, thank you so much, Rufina. That'll be all for now.
Thank you.
So far, I think that's one of the areas, the polling centers, where everything is going smoothly. No one has had the disadvantage of not finding their names on the roster. We have Theo on the line as well.
Right, so Theophilus will be, reporting from the Lejekoku constituency, Teshi, to be precise. Yeah. He was with us in the morning. He told us how the process has been very smooth, just as we've seen across the centers, the center so far. If you can hear me, Theophilus, what more do you have to report so far? Hello, Theophilus Sampa. All right, so this is our special coverage of the special voting exercise currently ongoing. We are confident to report that the process seamless so far, except some persons unable to find their names in the voters register, especially because they didn't register. And even if they did, they didn't go to
the district offices
to verify that their names were on the voters register.
And there will be no counting today after 5 p.m. when the polls close. It will be done on the 7th when everyone has voted. And so there will be no counting of the special votes today. Let's take note of that. 131,478 persons are voting or taking part in this special exercise today in 328 centers. If we take out the Western and the Eastern, you have roughly about 200 centers voting. There's one thing Nicholas said that was quite interesting. The fact that the Ashanti region is the stronghold of the MPP, and he's not taking any hints of voter apathy, although Musa Dankwa hinted that there's likely to be that trend of people not going out to vote in their numbers as is expected. That was quite... Theophilus is on the line now. Theophilus Sampa, if you can hear us, tell us what's happening where you are. Hello, Theophilus.
We are still on our route again, is still talking about the ongoing special voting exercise by the EC. We are currently at Speishi Divisional Headquarters here at Nungwa, where the Krowo constituency, this is where the special voting is taking place. And between 7 a.m. and now, the process has been very, very smooth. No hitches anywhere. Everything is orderly, and I think that everybody here is comporting themselves. Remember, this exercise is specially designed for the security agencies, personnel from the various security agencies, and media personnel, as well as some EC officials who on the 7th of December will really be going through helping us to exercise our franchise. So far from checks, we are expecting 1,006 eligible voters to exercise their franchise in this particular enclave, and here happens to be the polling center B, the Nungwa police station, the polling center B. And so we are getting closer to the electoral officials here to really see to it that everything is in order. I'll soon get the presiding officer here very, very soon. He's just around to really bring us up to speed what we are supposed to really know about the exercise here. And so viewers, you are still with us here. We are at Nungwa currently. Initially we were at Teshi, so and we trying to get our boss here, the one in charge of the whole exercise here, and to really walk us through whatever is happening here, their expectations, and at the end of the day, what we should really be looking out for from the general public here. And so he's here to really tell us exactly what we should be know. Sir, good to have you. You are live on GTV, GBC News, Obonu TV, Garden City TV. You are also live on our social media networks on GBC Ghana Online. Can you kindly tell us your name and your role here?
Good afternoon, and good afternoon to your viewers and listeners as well. My name is Benedict Clotte, the returning officer for Crowa.
Sir, so far, walk us through what time did you start this exercise and what time are you expected to wrap up?
We started a few minutes after 7, about 8 to 10 minutes after 7, because we had to count all the ballots to validate what we had received. And so we delayed a bit, but then we are expectant to close at 5. And currently, we've had about 60 to 70% of voters who have turned out so far. It's not 2 p.m. So we expect to have about 90% plus voter turnout.
If you look at a response from the security personnel and the media, has it been that smooth? Is there something you were looking out for?
Nothing so extraordinary. Whatever we looked out for, we have been able to get them. They have given us maximum security. Our system and devices are robustful. And so we believe that this thing will carry on and move on into the main elections, where we'll be having incident-free, unless maybe there are chaos from any other. But then, I believe the security has been strong here today, and we are okay.
Again, we're using devices. Has anybody complained that I came and I can't locate my name, or the system rejected me, or this is not the center, so I've been asked to go somewhere else? Have you encountered any of such challenges, and how did you solve it?
Apparently, we have only 2 centers here, so if you don't find your name here, you find. But then the register clarifies where your name should be, and no one so far has been turned out. Everyone who comes in is verified and allowed to vote. Nobody has done any manual verification so far, meaning that the device is robustful.
Great. Somebody tweeted and was asking, it's supposed to be for media and security personnel, but we've seen most of them not in their security attire. And so, is there any form of verification for them, or it's just civilians that are doing mingling with the security people? What will you say about such an observation from an onlooker?
Never mind. Actually, it's not only for security men and media personnel. The temporary staff of EC who are going to work on the 7th are also rolled on. And the security men you also see around, most of them are off duty and they are in their mufti. And so we are certain that everybody here has applied for, and that is why we have rolled them on. They could be in mufti by their security men, they will be in mufti their media personnel, some are also our temporary staff.
And finally, for the party agents, how many of them have you seen present in these 2 centers?
Currently, we have the NDC, the NPP, the NDP, who are all here, the new force, together with, I think, one independent candidate whose agents are all here. They are all seated behind our tables and they are all observing. Everything is transparent because our integrity is at stake.
And at the end of the day, as an EC official, what one message will you give Ghanaians, the general public, about 7th, and what you are expecting them to do?
Ghanaians should come out to vote in their numbers. They should leave early, come early, get down, go home and rest. Wait, if it is 5, they want to come and listen to the results, they should come and listen. They should observe. And they should do this devoid of utterances that may trigger someone to do anything, because you are tampering with people's feelings. And so let us avoid tampering with people's feelings, and then just come and vote, go through the process and go home.
Thank you very much. And so after 5, will you be doing the counting, or you wait when we do the 7th, then you add it to the counting?
It is 5 p.m. after 7th that we will do the validation, sorting and counting of the ballot. Yeah, on the 7th, not today. After this, we are going to lock all of them up in the police custody until the 7th, 5 p.m. after. Then we can get it done.
Thank you very much, sir.
You are most welcome.
And so viewers, this is what is happening here at Nungwa. It's still, the process is still ongoing and very, very smooth. Everybody, as usual, when you look around, people are cashing in and people are selling their wares and stuff like that for people who just pass by. We've seen all the party agents sitting down, mingling as if there is nothing happening, but hey, they are keeping an eagle eye. And so the media has been around for all this while and everything looks smooth here. And so this is our continuous coverage of the ongoing electoral process here, the special voting here at the Center A and B, Nungwa. This is for the Crow constituency. And so we're hoping that as it has started well, it will definitely end well. More of the officials are coming in and more of them are doing what they are doing. And I've seen some party agents and staff also all wearing smiles and doing what they know how to do best. And so we're here, and any other thing that will be happening, Morris and Co at the studio, we will be handing it over, and then also expecting some more updates from you and we here. And so whatever will happen here, we'll make sure that we'll get you hooked on till then and during and after the 7th general elections.
Sampa is our correspondent. He's been monitoring the process, the Lejokuku constituency, now in the Krowo constituency. That particular constituency swings at any given election time. John Mahama won the Krowo constituency in 2020. He had 52.55% of the total vote cast in the previous election. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo had 34,955 of the votes, 46.71%. As we speak, their current member of parliament is Agnes Na Momo Late. She had 41,850 of the votes, representing 55.8%. Elizabeth Afulekwe of the NPP had 32,604. As I said, it swings both on the parliamentary and presidential side of things, very much close to the sea, a coastal community. And so what happens around the fishing business largely has an effect on what the results are in any given election. We see, who wins the Krowo constituency in the 2024 presidential and parliamentary elections. Let's go to the Bono region and speak to John Sam Arthur. He joins us with some new updates. Good afternoon to you, John. If you can hear me, where are you? And
I am currently at Ablekuma constituency, precisely the Dansoma police station, where the special voting is currently underway. As I talk to you, we have 270 voters casted their votes out of the 466 registered special voters who are supposed to vote in this police station. The atmosphere in the beginning has been a bit calm, not very busy, but at the point when the box in which the ballots were casted, got full, there was a need to change the box. And then there were some challenges with that, because the NTC representative says that the color of the seal of the new force seal is the same as that of the NPP, the incumbent party. And so the rep for the NTC raised that concern. And so it generated into argument, but the officer in charge was able to calm the situation. And so currently things are going smoothly. We have the two contenders for these constituencies, Madame Eslawusu visiting the police station to check the mood. We also have the counterpart or the competitor, who is Reverend Kweku Addo, also present at the police station. He was here since 7 a.m. and is still here. For Madame Eslawusu, she came around 10:50, but she didn't stay any longer and left. But Kweku Addo is currently at the police station observing the scene closely. He has observed several issues happening here, one of which is a voter approaching or casting her vote with an arm bag. And so he realized it and called the officials in charge. They called her back to remove that bag before she goes in again to cast her vote. Earlier on, we also went to Jamestown, one of our first police stations, within the day, as at 9:20 a.m. 130 voters had casted their votes out of the 530 who were registered for that constituency. We also went to the Kolebu police station. That was around 10:50 a.m. Within that police station or that constituency, 465 special voters were registered for that constituency. And out of the 465, 150 had already casted their vote as of 10:15 a.m. So if you ask me what is happening as far as the special voting is concerned, that is really what is happening.
Right. So, John, are you able to tell us some of the issues that the voters in Ablekuma West will be considering in casting their ballots on Saturday, December 7th?
Your voice is low. If you can speak up.
I'm saying that, are you able to tell us some of the burning issues that the voters in Ablekuma West will be considering in deciding who to vote for come Saturday?
Well, so with the voters, the concern has only been with the tidal wave, which we engage the member of parliament, the incumbent member of parliament, and she said that it isn't that the party or the government, her administration doesn't want to work on that, but the opposition party staged a move that has halted the process. And so what she's doing new is that when she is re-elected, to ensure that all that they did that work, for which she's unable to ensure that there is that defense to ensure that people within the coastal areas, transact their business fairly, and then they live there without the threat of any flood and its related activity is catered for. So the burning issue really is the tidal wave issue, and then what the party in the government in power is able to do to ensure that that situation is dealt with. And so with the counterpart, who is the Kweku Ado, for him, he says that the party has failed, not because the government, the NDC has done anything to prevent the party from doing that, but it is a mere failure, it's a raw failure that on their part. And so if you ask the burning issue, then it's a tidal wave. Yeah.
Right. So if you look at the parliamentary results in the 2020 elections, the difference between Kweku Ado and that of Eslo Owusu was some 7,000 plus votes. You are on the ground. Does it look like Kweku Ado is likely to pull any surprise? Is he likely to close this margin further, listening to the concerns and what the voters on the ground are saying?
So according to Mr. Kweku Ado, or they mostly call him Reverend, according to him, he is coming back strongly. He has seen his mistakes. He has corrected them. Those things that he has done, which he calls correction, he says that it is too early to mention it. But at the end of the general election, December 7th, everybody will know that he has really done his corrections. And so he's coming strongly. Many other things I asked him, according to the question you asked, I asked him the same question. What new, what exactly has he done? Which is new, that is, he's sure that this time around he's coming into power. He says that he cannot reveal that because it's too early, but the only thing he can say is that he's coming strongly. He has done grassroots campaign. He knows that grassroots campaign works, and that has been his focus, and he understands the sentiments of the people. The people of Ablekuma West are not pleased with the incumbent party, and he's coming as the exact solution to the challenges that they have mentioned.
Right, so talking about the incumbent party, also if you look at the presidential results in the Ablekuma West constituency in 2020, the difference, some 10,000 votes. Based on what you are picking from the ground, is there a possibility that anything is going to change if you look at the trend?
So I didn't get the question.
Right. So I'm saying that if you look at the presidential, I mean, in the last election,
right,
the results between John Mahama and Kweku Ado, some 10,000 votes difference. I'm saying that if you monitor the situation on the ground, is there anything likely to change, really?
Well, I would say that it is too early to say that, to determine. The only thing I would say is that with the look of the kind of activities that the incumbent member of parliament is embarking on, if the people of this constituency are persuaded by the late delivery, then we can say that she is in a commanding lead, because as I speak to you, she is very busy embarking on some developmental projects. And I asked her, is this an upgraded version of vote buying, or is just mere coincidence? She said that she has not been given any timeline to the discharge of her duty or the promises she gave to the people. And so as far as she's in office, she has the right to do what at what time. So, the people, the sentiment really reflects both satisfaction and critique.
Right.
And so if the people, if offering materials or of these things she's doing, for example, the last Friday she discharged or she distributed some books to schools, and then as I talk to you now, she's commissioning an activity which I don't have too much details about that in this afternoon. And so if those things are anything that will move the constituents, then I can say that she's in the commanding lead. But from the sentiment that were shared by the electorate, it reflects both satisfaction and critiques. And so we can only watch closely and observe the outcome of the general election, December 7th.
Right, thank you very much. John Guama is our correspondent reporting from the Ablekuma West constituency. That constituency, has remained, in the hands of the MPP since 1996. Nothing really has changed. When you look at the presidential results since 1996, the NPP has won the Ablekuma West constituency. John Guama reporting from that particular constituency. Gloria, we begin to wrap up, so we make way for Doreen and Thelma will be taking over the screens, so we go and get some rest. It's been very stressful since morning.
But I think that is the whole thing is a mock of what is going to happen on the 7th.
Sure. And
so the EC would be looking out and be mapping out what should be done, especially with the arrival of electoral materials on time, the people joining the queue and all that needs to be done. And we hope that everyone gets to find his name on the electoral list come 7th.
All right, so this is where we, leave the stage for Doreen and Thelma to take over our special coverage of the special voting exercise currently ongoing. My name is Morris Ogbete.
I'm Gloria Anderson.
Have a good afternoon.
Thank you for joining us.